This is Review Your Gear Radio with your hosts Chris Husted and Jason Renner. Coming to you with the latest topics, reviews, and techniques for hunting and fishing in the Midwest. And here they are, Chris and Jason. Take it away, boys.
Ew. Review Your Gear Radio. I'm Chris Husted.
Jason Renner.
It is season 4, episode 9, the Dog Days of Summer episode. Why? Because it's hot.
And we got the dogs in the room.
And the dog, well, they're going to bark here any minute, but that's typical here on Review Your Gear Radio. Yeah. So let's get right into today's topic list. And to keep things real up in here, we're going to talk about Lake Sakakawea. Because that's what we do here on Review Your Gear Radio. We bring up Lake Sakakawea on virtually every episode, I think. Right?
When's somebody going to throw us some free stays up there?
Oh,
we paddled them.
It's fine. What, the tourism department for one?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, fishing on the lake right now, at least in the mid stretch and up in the arm for sure. I don't know about the east end. I'm sure it's good there too.
It depends on who you talk to. It's tailing off, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, August on the east end of Lake Sakakawea is normally tougher because the fish typically shift west. Now, you get to, I don't know, darn near Mille Bay in that area and west. I mean, the amount of bait is incredible. Even over at your last name Bay, there was so much bait over to the west of that. It was just clouds and clouds and clouds.
Which is good. I mean, one, you got a ton of fish. Ton of walleyes.
Especially in that 16 to 20 inch range.
Correct. And you got a ton of bait. They must have had, I'm guessing they had a good smelt hatch this year, or maybe
they must have. Well, like I said, I've seen them cough it up, those little things. I took a picture. If you know what I'm talking about, go to our Review Your Gear Facebook page. Remember it fit as on the palm of my hand? Just that little thing.
But just imagine, what that size is, what that would take, how much to make that echo on your graph.
A lot.
And how big those schools are. We're talking millions.
And at times they're yellow. Like it's thick. We're not talking yellow from echoes of a fish. I'm talking about that's how thick the cloud is. But we were up on the hook. We put in a deep water and jumped all around up there. I just wanted different ground, and we got a tournament coming up there, and almost everywhere we went, it was incredibly chock full of bait and fish. I mean, the fish numbers, they were so stacked up. I have not seen fish stacked on the lake like that this year, like I did up there.
So here's my question to you. And we've seen a few skinny fish in certain areas.
In the eastern part of the lake.
Did you even see a skinny fish?
Not up there.
Okay.
It seemed like in pre-fishing for the Dakota Walleye Classics, so starting around mid-July, we were starting to notice a difference where if you went west of Dakota Waters, Mille Bay area, out, by the Beacon area, those things were just tanks. Just an 18-incher looked like a 2-pound or so all day long. And I know that's
2.5 pounds.
Yeah, huge. And I don't know what the weight, I'm just guessing. But on the eastern, when you went over by Berthold and over by Hazen Bay and went a little bit further east, they were noticeably smaller. But again, you didn't see the clouds of bait. That doesn't mean they don't exist. Now, what does that mean for salmon? Are they seeing the bait by the dam yet?
There's monstrous amounts of smelts by the dam.
Okay, so anywhere along the channel or going all the way up and down is...
I'm guessing, and what I'm hearing is the back of the bay fish are skinnier. Like if you go out and kind of work closer to the channel, you start getting fatter walleyes.
Okay. The most fish I did see is up there was a stretch where the old river channel ran right up against shore. And the amount of fish stacked between 15 to 30 feet. It's like you could throw a jig wrap at every cast and snag one. That's how thick they were.
I know there's not a whole lot of current, but I wonder
Oh, it's there.
I
You
wonder
can visibly see it.
because it flooded in Billings again this weekend.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
I did not catch that.
The Meta Park, which is down by the Yellowstone.
Okay.
in
So how much
Billings.
water, I mean, you're talking in the Yellowstone again?
Well, it was from one big thunderstorm. I think they got like 8 inches.
Oh, so they got a lot of rain.
They got a lot
but
of
it
rain.
wasn't like it was.
No, it wasn't like it was,
But it's still enough.
over a wide area. The area's been just getting rain after rain after rain.
When we were driving home and we were on 83 where it splits Sakakawea and Audubon, when I looked to the west, you could see visibly 12 to 16-inch grass that was being flooded underwater. You could see tips of grass. You know there's going to be fish back there on that.
Oh God, yeah.
There's got to be.
Well, you remember when the sky was falling in the spring? I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
Everybody, like, oh, we're not going to have enough water. And from what all points are pointing towards Sakakawea's health is very,
the lake's extremely healthy now. Fast forward a couple of years, there's going to be a lot of 22, 24-inch fish.
Correct. I mean, and everybody says, "Oh, look at all the fish being pumped out." I just don't see how.
No, there's no doubt the amount of fish is coming out of Sakakawea is incredible, but it just I want to make a joke about the drunk person at prom, but it just keeps putting out. But with that being said, I mean, it's no different than like a Devil's Lake. I mean, how much fish are taken out of Devil's Lake on any given day in the summer or the winter?
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. I don't think Sakakawea gets hit as hard ice fishing.
Oh, not at all. I mean, you know it because it doesn't freeze till mid-January.
Well, yeah.
So, and even then, that's when it just freezes. There's not safe ice on the main lake. Yeah. Now, last winter, I did drive my Suburban out on the main lake, and it was 2 feet, like literally to the inch, about 2 feet, and it was some of the clearest, best-looking ice I'd ever been on. Like, it was creepy because you're over like 80, 90 foot of water, and you can see right through that ice.
Yeah.
Like a perfect ice cocktail. And yeah, but ice was good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so in other words, if you're thinking about going somewhere, I'm sure all the locals will love me for saying this, but seriously, Lake Sakakawea, check out the camping, check out the local areas, check out the resorts. There's even nearby hotels. Every accommodation you need, all the bait shops, everything. You got to come out and experience it because, especially if you're from the east, where you're used to seeing cabins stacked on top of cabins, Lake Sakakawea is virtually inhabited. Now, there is a few cabins in certain bays, and
it is harder to get but when you think about it, you can't really put a cabin down in the water.
No, and you can't have a dock. You can't. I mean, look, you'd be changing it every week.
Correct.
Hey, I like your makeshift mic stand there. I knew that was going to fail you. So let's move on. Best water spot remover for boats. Now, I know we had this conversation previous seasons, and I said the Lil Ducky, because I did like Lil Ducky, that orange water spot remover spray. Worked good. I'd give it like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. But
I'm not gonna lie. What you're gonna say here doesn't shock me because I told my brother to get the same stuff.
Yeah,
and he loves
hot sauce.
Hot
sauce, water spot remover, and then I can't remember. It does something for the gel coat or something.
I think it puts just a protection coat over the gel coat.
Sure. And it's $15, retail per a jug or for a spray bottle. Now that's what Little Ducky was. So
it's a horse apiece.
It's a horse piece, but I really think that you don't have to use as much. It seems to apply better. And like on the motors, like I noticed on my Verado, it's black and it's got spots, water spots all over, totally visible. Just a slight mist, wipe down things like new. I mean, awesome. Good stuff. Check out hot sauce.
Who makes that?
I don't know. Just it's hot sauce.
Way
You
to
mean
do your research.
I really? It's black with red lettering. It's called hot sauce. If you walk into a boat or a bait shop and say, I want hot sauce, I'm like, okay, sir, we'll take you right over here to the hot sauce. All right. Moving on. How to manage your fuel on long run days. This is an issue. I don't want to call it an issue, but okay, tournament coming up. 4 Bears.
Four
Okay.
Bears. Long run.
Long run. So
Long-
what is it from the casino to the lake? 22, 25 miles? Somewhere around there?
Correct. I think it's 22 as the curl flies, 25.
Depends how you drive it. You
Yeah.
can go wide.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a haul. So right there, I'm assuming, depending how I drive, I'm going to use half my tank just to get into the lake and back. That's not even like that's once you get there.
So, are you thinking of bringing extra?
Well,
What do you
first of all, it depends where I'm fishing because this tournament historically, you just go and pitch a tent somewhere on Shell, and
grip 9-pounders?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but this year. And I don't care if other people who haven't pre-fished are listening. You'll find out for yourself the numbers on Shell right now. At least we popped in there this weekend and it was just overloaded with fish. But there were so many smaller fish, in the mix.
So you got to play the big sort.
Well,
hope you get the right bites.
I also know some people who claim that they've been fishing a lot lately, not tournament fishing, and said they haven't really been pulling much for size off of it. Now, I hope, and I'm sorry to anyone who really is looking forward to a shell bite, I just hope there isn't one there because it's just too obvious, to go and sit on shell. So it'll force people to have to move around more because usually half to 2/3 of the field sits there. It's kind of lame like that. You drive all the way down there to fish a crowd. Anyways, but so it depends where we're gonna go. I think if I drove,
Are there open boundaries for this tournament?
yeah, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think you can go anywhere. I don't know. I don't know about going north of the bridge at the casino. I think you can, but no one ever does. That doesn't mean you're not going to find fish over at White Earth or whatever, but whatever. But most people obviously go south. So no, it depends. Like where we started our run last year, it was another 15 miles.
So you're talking 30 miles almost one way.
Yep. And we were cranking. And so you're using, not a lot, but you are using more fuel.
Correct.
So just saying.
Got to throw 5 gallons in the back.
I really think I need to do it. First of all, I need to know where we're fishing, and I think I'll probably know by Thursday. And if I don't, well, oh well. But with that being said, I was thinking about doing a dress rehearsal on Friday. Just fill it up, launch at the casino, drive all the way down, just do a dry run, come back up. And I'd like to know, I'll probably bring a gas can for that, but I'm going to probably push it a little more.
Okay.
Because it depends, especially if I'm going to a spot where I do want to get there before someone else.
Well, you can. The big thing is you can conserve on the way back if you.
Yeah,
a little
I know.
early.
But then I also, you got to figure, you're going to need darn near an hour to get back.
Correct.
If not an hour, depending on where you're at. So yeah, a lot of driving. I was used to the fuel consumption of my Skeeter with the Yamaha. I had that thing pretty dialed, but new boat, new motor, it's just different.
So here's
and it's a smaller tank.
Correct, smaller tank. But here's the grinding question: about the same or better mileage with the Verado?
It seems pretty close. Now, I know Verados have a history or a bad reputation for being thirsty. And don't get me wrong, you put that thing down, it's thirsty.
Yeah.
But if you're running around 4,000, 4,500 RPMs, which I typically do around the lake, it's not bad.
Okay.
It's really not that bad. It's very comparable. It's also a little bit, you have to obviously put in a perspective where I was used to driving the Skeeter in $2, $2.50 gas versus $5.59 or whatever that's at the resort at the time. The most we paid was $5.89 at the resort per gallon.
Whew.
Premium. Yeah. But it's not their fault. It's just what it is. They got to make a nickel too. They're at a resort.
They got to survive too. Man.
So yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But optimal fuel consumption. Let's have some tales from the Chub Tank.
Tales from the Chub Tank.
I am putting my Trub chest in a rookie. Is that going to be a problem? He's probably going to be listening to this podcast someday. But
I know who you're talking about now.
One of my partners, Scott, Dakota Customers, if you're not familiar, he is very new to chubs. He's only gone once, found chubs, found a few right by his house, so not far. And I may or may not have gone on Google Earth and found about 8 nice pins to dry dropped them for
Nice.
chub bridges to start that are within striking distance, because they got the best creeks over there.
Well, yeah, he's in prime chub.
He is in prime time, and on his way to work and back, he says he's near creeks too. So I put the tall order. I mean, if I want to get, let's just throw a number. Let's say I want 50, 60 chubs for this tournament, just throwing a number at a wall. That's not easy to get out here right now.
No.
That would be multiple outings where he could probably spend an hour if he's on them.
Yeah.
And be done.
Just keeping him alive.
Well, right, but, I'll make sure he's swapping the water, but he's not going to get them until right before he comes, like a couple of days before.
Gotcha.
So he'll only have to do one water change, and maybe we can do it when he gets to the lake. But yeah, chubs. God, chubs. And we got to keep them in the camper, and then the camper smells like chubs.
They are smelly.
They stink. And and every day, like if you got to change that water every other day, or it stinks really bad. The water stinks. Like every time you open the cooler, it just lingers for a while. And then, heaven forbid, a couple die. Then you have dead chub smell on top of dirty chub smell, water smell, and everything. Yeah. I had 3 coolers going for the DWC in my camper. Lisa and the kids show up. They're like, what's going on here?
What died in the camp?
It didn't. I was used to it, but they're like, it reeks. Like, sorry, like you can't keep them outside; they'll bake. You got to keep them cool. I need a portable freezer setup that's attached to the back of my.
You strap it to the back of the fifth wheel,
or have like a hitch with like a little thing that people use for like coolers and stuff. Yeah. No, freezer.
Yeah, and a generator specifically.
No generator. It's gonna go. No, I should have a generator, but I've heard of people with that. You just put a timer on and have it run for like a minute every, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
The freezer.
The
actual freezer temperature.
Right.
Put a timer on it.
Right.
And run a minute for every hour?
Or whatever. I've had people quote it to me. I just can't remember their formula, if you will. But yeah.
E = MC squared.
Exactly.
Divided by number of chubs and gallons of water.
Completely. I agree with you, Watson. So, early season Canada goose hunting 2022 starts in 15 days here in North Dakota. So, I did see my first fields getting cut up by Wilton coming home off 83 just yesterday.
I seen a bunch of custom combine crews pulling into that Elgin, New Leipzig area.
Okay.
So
it's on. It's
starting.
Which is about right.
Yeah.
Some guys are like, "Oh, it's early because it's in July," but really, it's the end of July. I mean, it's August.
It's winter wheat needs to come down. That's all that has to come down.
So there's going to be obviously agriculture now. I would say, without being in the back roads much, just seeing what I'm seeing going to and from the lake and stuff, It's going to be a decent year. There was a lot of rain this year, a lot of temporary wetlands. I know those are critical for ducks, but a lot of water. My best early season Canada goose hunting years was when it was extremely wet.
Yeah, yeah, because successful nesting.
And hey, thanks. Whatever my computer just said, but and I'll catch some flack for this, but there was more geese in the first 20 years ago. There was more geese than there was now.
I think so.
Early season Canada goose hunting.
Yeah.
Now, of course, back then it didn't start until the 1st of September.
Correct.
Which I may catch some flack. I still think it should be September 1st. I think August 15th is just too early. Not because it's miserable hunting, but the birds aren't really flocked up yet. When I've hunted like opener and even the second into weekend of early season, they don't really finish like they should. They don't come in feet down. Like they usually shortstop you or they end up flying past you to land over you, which is still a totally good shot, but it's not what you really want when you're decoying Canada's. You want feet down. And it seems like once Labor Day weekend hits, they're coming feet down. They're starting to group up. Does that make sense? It's like they're still just kind of getting used to the routine. They're teaching the young flocks
family
groups, right?
Yeah,
so they're right. So that's my thing on that. But I think it's gonna be good here. I know a lot of people come from out of state and from all over to hunt up here because it's the only game in town.
The weirdest thing I seen the other day on the way up to the Sakakawea was an unharvested, I think it was soybeans or something like that, and a flock of geese landed in them, and it was as high as they were, and they're sitting there and they're eating beans. I've never seen that before.
Huh.
Unharvested.
Are you sure they weren't eating grass like in the bean field? Like
might have, or grasshoppers or something in there, but it was a whole flock, and it was almost like they disappeared. All you seen was their heads on top of the.
Huh.
I'd never seen something like that, and I was like, I didn't think they would do that because their visibility to predators to attack them has got to be, terrible. So I don't know. It's a little weird to me.
I've seen Canada's land in sunflowers in the snow. What are they doing? Seriously, what are they doing in there?
Eating the roots?
No, I mean, I don't know if they were eating. It was just like they picked a field to loaf right off the river outside of Washburn.
Huh.
Sunflowers, just and we were gonna hunt it. We checked it out after they left, and there was footprints, of course, like they've been in there for years.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, anyways, we'll be back here on Revere Gear Radio, and we're back here on Revere Gear Radio. How do you determine baits and colors for salmon fishing? Now, picture this, okay? I've salmon fished with people about half dozen times in my life. I've gone with you, I've gone with Dollinger, I've gone with a handful of people, but I just reeled in fish. I didn't really understand every little aspect of what was going on. So if you're someone looking to get into it, where do you even start on picking baits and colors?
Well, if you're especially in the Dakotas, there's three main colors you need: whites, pinks, and blues.
And this, you're talking the flasher and the baits.
Yeah. White on white, blue on blue, pink on green, pink on blue, whatever. That's kind of some popular ones. The big thing with our reservoirs compared to, say, the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes are an alewife heavy source, where Sakakawea is smelt, and then you have South Dakota and Montana are Cisco laden. So the size of the baits in Montana and South Dakota you use is larger.
Gotcha.
Here we use a lot of needlefish.
Those little squids.
Little squids. Skinny, replicating a lot of, that thinner prey. But, they do tee off on the Cisco's. They do tee off on uh, skipjacks. They're voracious eaters. I mean, they'll eat anything in that cold water structure. Um, that's why they hit the bigger herring baits. My biggest thing is you know the funny thing about Sakakawea, it's always, oh, we got white on white, white on white, white on white. Oh, everybody runs white on white. I mean, that's why everybody catches fish on white, but there's different whites. There's UV whites, there's glow whites, there's little nuances. So it's the biggest thing I like to do is I like to run. My key to success is to run different colored herring hoods and different colored squids until I find something working. I like to change my baits every hour, hour and a half or so until I find something working. And then usually, if I get something that's close, I try to replicate it. Some shape, form, colors, little tweaks. To me, that's key. You go out in the Great Lakes, it's all greens, aquas, or tealish colored, but they're replicating chrome blades, alewives, a little bit bigger bait, a little flasher, a little clear water.
Right.
So it all depends on where you start, but I have noticed the trend that a lot of the baits that work in the Great Lakes, as Sakakawea, as these lakes get clearer, notice a lot of carryover. Or if it's just the fact more guys are using Great Lakes baits.
Okay. And did you see that size of that salmon? Was that Lake Michigan it came out of?
Michigan, right off of Algoma. It was on a Kim's charter. It was the largest fish on a Kim's charter they've ever harvested, and it's the seventh largest salmon in Wisconsin history.
Wow. Isn't that in Michigan or is that Wisconsin?
It was in Wisconsin. That was in Algoma.
Okay.
It's on this side. So 40 pounds.
On the good side.
On the good side.
I'm just kidding, man. Someone's going to be getting me an email, but let's have a Mille Lacs minute.
This is your Mille Lacs minute. You can catch a walleye, but it must be released immediately upon entering the boat. You cannot keep it. It must be released immediately. This has been your Mille Lacs Lake Minute.
Why do you always say Mille Lacs Lake?
Sorry. Well, it's a lake.
Well, it is, but no one says Mille Lacs Lake.
Yeah, I'm North Dakota.
I know. By the way, you haven't fished Mille Lacs, have you yet?
No, never touched Mille Lacs.
I am taking you there. Next year, 100%.
Okay.
All right, let's have some headlines. Big kitty caught in Idaho. I repeat, huge kitty. 42.5-inch kitty was caught just the other week, and the previous one was only 33 inches for the record. So, I mean, that is a shattering. So, it tipped the scale at 37 pounds. The existing record was 32.9 pounds. However, let's give him props. He released it.
Had the record.
Had the record. I think he knew it. Turned it loose. He had the fish weighed in a certified scale. It would have shattered the existing record of 32.9 pounds. So, yeah, no, I give props to anyone and everyone that releases a fish like that.
You never know. Somebody could catch it. Might be bigger.
So Michael Jordan strikes again. What doesn't that guy win?
Oh, he wins at everything.
He does. That guy is a born winner. So they got Big Fish, his boat, his team, low profile. Third place and first place for Big Fish, including a 225-pound big eye.
That's a big eye tuna.
And what they do? They won. And yeah, look at that leaderboard. It's all them. They just dominated. So yeah, Michael Jordan, congrats. We'd love to have you on the podcast, by the way, MJ.
Yeah. The funny thing is I was watching the awards for this, and I don't know what channel I was on. Of course, he walks up there and he's got the big Michael Jordan stogie like, walking up grabbing an NBA championship again. It's just the man just exudes greatness.
He is the man. By the way, MJ or LeBron, is it even a debate? No. No, I think most of the people, not all, most of the people that are big LeBron, favors over MJ, I don't think they grew up really, really watching MJ because I'll never forget. Okay, this is the difference of the player. This is what changes it for me. I'm not going to look at a stat or titles. I'm going to look at the fact that when LeBron has a hangnail, he's out a week. MJ, remember him in the playoffs when he had the flu?
Oh, the flu.
And they had to carry him off. Didn't he score like 60 that night or
Yeah,
something stupid?
Immediately got like 3 IVs.
Oh, the guy was a machine. I mean, he was a winner.
Well, even
at all costs.
In the one final series, Scottie Pippen was playing with a herniated disc, and he's playing through it.
Right.
I mean, and you just don't hear about that in today's athletes. And the other thing, I had this debate with somebody the other day, and they're like, well, he had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman.
Okay. Rodman could rebound, but that's it.
Yeah, he didn't really do anything. And Pippen was always, when Jordan was gone.
LeBron has been surrounded by talent his whole career.
Look at the super teams he's been on.
Right. Well, look at the super team he's on now. They couldn't even make the playoffs.
And he never repeats his championships.
Well, anyways, we're going off because I really don't care about LeBron. So, new hunter apprentice program in Utah. This is awesome. I really think this is cool. An apprentice hunter must be at least 12 years of age and he can be accompanied by a licensed hunter of at least 21 years of age. It's kind of a try it before you buy it program. So, some people, don't want to spend all the money to get a firearm, camo, don't know where to start to find places to hunt, things of that nature.
I think this is in plain North Dakota.
Can you let me finish here, sir?
Just saying.
I know nothing about North Dakota. If they do it, that's amazing, but I don't know anything about it. You're stealing my thunder. I'm giving props to Utah over here. No, but seriously, it's a really cool program. If North Dakota does do it, I don't care any state. People got to know about this.
Every state that has hunting,
right? I mean, there's no negatives to this. So
I think it shouldn't be an age limit on it. I think if you want to get somebody into it,
not as late as 12. It should be like 8.
8.
I mean, even earlier, but I don't think you're right. I don't think an age limit.
Because hey, let your buddies, if that's their first time hunting, you download an Apprentice, even if you're 45 years old, never hunted before. I want to download and upload Apprentice license. Gives you 3 days, no charge, but you're with whoever you're hunting with. It counts towards their license limit.
Okay. I get you. I get what you're saying.
So they can try it out.
It seems like a nightmare when it comes to enforcing.
Logistics. Yeah, it probably is.
Whatever.
Good idea, but I'm sure the logistics behind it don't make sense.
Yeah, well, there's still got to tax the tournament anglers.
Don't go there.
So, I don't know if I love my 8.5 foot rod anymore, bait rod. I've been talking it up for like 3 episodes.
So what happened?
It just doesn't fit in my 8.5 foot rod locker. It must be with, I haven't measured it myself, but it just doesn't fit. It just falls a couple inches short. No, it's 1 piece. So I really would like a 2-piece version. Shields, if you're listening.
2-piece version.
2-piece version. I'll swap it. You can have mine. I'll sign it so then no one will want it. But no, it doesn't fit. So it's one of those decisions. Do I really want to have a rod that I can't put away?
Correct.
Because believe it or not, unlike my Skeeter, I put my rods away in this boat. Well, do you remember my rod locker in that Skeeter?
Yeah.
Every time you stuck a rod in, you didn't know if it was going to come out because there were so many cords and all the wires were in the rod locker.
Yeah. Your rod locker was your tackle box.
That's what it ended up being.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anywho, so what is the best live bait rod for walleye fishing, sir?
So what if they took that 8'6" and put a collapsible
or telescopic?
Telescopic.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Telescopic would be amazing. That also brings up the question, the JT snare we always talk about at 9 foot 2 inches?
2 inches.
Is that telescopic or two-piece?
I thought it was, they had a version of each.
Maybe I should Google that. I'm doing it.
JT
snare rod.
We got
dogs.
Dog standoff.
Oh, this is the ice fishing version. All right, Brickos, I'm telling you, I gotta help you brothers out over here. All right. So it is 7'10", reduces to 7'10" inches.
So
it is telescopic.
Okay.
I could fit that.
It's $3.
$309.90. Wasn't it $319.90? I think it came down $10.
Well, I think Shields puts a $10 premium on all their JT rods.
Okay, no, I'm okay. Whatever. It's still a pretty spendy rod, but I mean, everyone that has them swears by them. So
yeah.
All right, what's cooking on the stone?
What's cooking on the stone?
I used the grill tonight. I cheated on my stone.
You cheated on your stone?
I had to have the grill, and I used burgers, but sometimes I just want to throw them on the grill. I mean, if you have a grill for a long time, I've had this grill a while, you just know your grill. So I know how to cook a burger or a steak or anything like blindfolded. I don't have to even look at the temperature gauge. I just know.
I did something new tonight.
What's that?
So I have one of those burger domes, the bigger ones.
Yep.
So I did not husk corn. I left it in the husk.
Where you got sweet corn?
Sweet corn.
From where?
Castaway's has some really good sweet corn.
What?
Yeah.
Go on.
So I put them in the husk, put it underneath the dome, and put a ton of water underneath there.
Okay.
And steamed it for like 10 minutes while I cooked the asparagus and the steaks.
Yep. Now, is the farmers markets going yet?
Yes, but the one by my house, there's been nobody there. So I don't know if people are struggling with their gardens this year. I haven't seen any of the corn trucks or anything like that yet. I think it's a little early for that, but I know Cashwise gets some corn out of Minnesota, usually southern Minnesota.
Okay.
It was good stuff.
Huh. I love me some kern.
Some kern?
The amount of tomatoes they're going to be thrown out of my garden in about a week is going to be...
Yeah, I have 19 plants.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I have 6, but with my 6 plants, Lisa said tonight that there's an uncountable amount of tomatoes that are almost there.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous.
Salsa for days.
Yeah.
Big question, Mr. Renner.
What's that?
This is really important. Why is Busch Light so popular?
Oh, I don't get it. And the funny thing now, I think it used to be because it was cheap.
What's it now?
It's a 30 rack is now the price of a 24 rack of Miller Lite, Coors.
So what? I don't buy domestic beer anymore. What does a
$25.86 for a 30 rack?
$25.86. Like you know it to the penny. Why? How is what? When's the last time you bought Busch Light?
I'm just saying I bought some Miller Lite yesterday at the liquor store.
I was just gonna say, since when are you how do you know to the penny what Busch Light costs if you don't drink?
Well, my father-in-law drinks Busch Light, and he's always comparing it because you get 6 cans more for the same price.
That's why he drinks it.
That's why he drinks it
for the value.
The value.
Does it matter to him if there's corn on the can or he just wants it wet?
No, that's just a gimmick. But I don't know. I'm still a Miller Lite person. I like the flavor. I like to taste my beer a little bit.
Okay.
Again, I drink a lot of beer with Clamato, and then it don't matter.
Yeah. No, you're right. If you add Clamato, it's a done deal. But I think I could go for a nice, good flavored beer again. I haven't had one for a while, like a Corona. I like
Corona's
dirty,
great.
delicious beer. A little salt, a little lime.
Salt, a little lime.
Oh,
I used to really like Rolling Rock with lime in it.
is Rolling Rock still a thing? Did it still make it?
You can still get it. You can still get it. But yeah, you can't.
I
It's hard to
haven't
find
seen
bottles.
Rolling Rock in a long time.
Yeah, you just get it in bottles.
The green bottles, right?
Green bottles.
Yeah.
33. We always tried to figure out who 33 was. Because that was
before Google.
Yeah. Even now, you look up 33, nobody knows the reason behind 33 in the Rolling Rock bottle.
Oh, it's
the mystery.
Someone's gonna tell us. We're gonna end it with this: best boat smack. Best boat snacks circa 2022. Like right now, if you're gonna go fishing tomorrow, what are you packing?
What am I? Gotta find some good jerky.
Okay.
I'm a big jerky guy.
Dry or sticks?
Depends on what I'm feeling.
Okay.
Gotta have some sticks. Gotta some jerky. That's a necessity. String cheese, I think, is one of these things we forget.
Oh yeah.
String cheese is always.
I usually have it.
Yeah. Lunchables. There's a good one.
I don't know, sir. I'm not 11 years old anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's not a bad one. I usually get my almond Snickers. Like,
well, yeah, that's
like my just to hold me over, but don't ever get it in the boat carpet. Jeez, that's nasty. I gotta get the shampooer out. Bad.
And don't leave them in the box on a 100-degree day.
Right. And I usually want to do sandwiches, but sandwiches are hard because you usually want to make it the morning of.
Correct.
And it is soggy if you add like any sauce or condiment or a tomato or anything that has moisture for that matter.
And those pre-made sandwiches that you buy,
they're not the same. No,
not even close.
No, I think for this next trip, I'm gonna finally get in the sandwich habit, but I want to like do it right. Like I'm gonna have meat, cheese, onion, lettuce, sprouts.
Make them on the boat.
No, I'm not bringing sprouts on the boat. What is this, a salad bar?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where the hell the sprouts are coming from.
You don't like sprouts on your sandwich?
You gonna hold your pinky up in the air too?
Yes. Sprouts are amazing. I'm trying to think of stuff to add flavor without adding mayo. Right?
Okay.
Are we going to bring mayo packets in the boat?
Bring mustard packet or mustard dipping.
Yeah, but what kind of mustard do I like?
Grey Poupon.
Dakota mustard. Big deck.
Big deck. Oh, there you go.
They're Dakota mustard.
No, I know.
I just don't like the top on it. It always looks like it's going to leak to me, but other than that stuff is liquid gold.
Well, it seems like they got the ones I seen at 3BE. It looked like they got to do tops to them.
That would be wise. And then they, I knew that was coming. The Willis has mentioned that, but yeah, their barbecue sauce and that. They have one like a peanut butter and jelly. I can't remember what it is. Like a weird.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure it's good.
It's great on wings.
Really? Why do we always end on food?
I
was trying to get away from food, but we end there.
I smoked some wings. You put that on there.
What is it? Peanut butter and what?
Peanut butter and jelly barbecue sauce.
Okay. Nice.
It's very good. Delicious.
Very good. I'm Chris Husted.
I'm Jason Renner.
We're going to go get some wings here on Review Your Gear Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to Review Your Gear Radio. Be sure to tune in next episode, and don't forget to check out reviewyourgear.com. Also, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Till next time, tight lines and good times in the outdoors.